And for the final updates of the day, we've got gold and Bitcoin. Starting off with gold on the 4-hour time frame, we can see we've had that break of structure in towards the downside, and this swing high here is relatively strong because it liquidated this high to the left. Therefore, from a market structure perspective, I am looking for lower prices. Within this overall impulse, I would then highlight this as a significant liquidity point that hasn't yet been taken. The only thing that I would say at the moment is that this is the demand zone that's currently in control. And my ideal scenario from a 4-hour perspective would be a break and a liquidation above this high. We'd then see this created as demand. Then I would like to see that break of the demand zone where it would then become supply, where you can then look for that retracement and a short position down to the week swing low. Obviously on the 4-hour time frame, I don't know if you'll be able to capture a position because by the time it breaks this low, you're already at your draw on liquidity. If we go down onto the 1-hour time frame though, we might be able to get a more refined entry. As you can see, we've had that 1-hour break of structure in towards the downside. This is our swing high and this is our swing low. Now from the 1-hour perspective, we didn't actually manage to liquidate this high over here. We have started to see that lower time frame structure start to form. As you can see, we've got this supply chain that is currently in control. And at the moment, this is the supply zone that's in control, which it is currently trading within. You could potentially look for a nice move down lower. But again, similar to the 4-hour time frame, this is the demand zone that's in control. So I would like to see a break of this, creating a nice area of supply where you can then look for that short down lower again. There's still lots of open liquidity here, which does look like a good liquidity target, but from a 4-hour perspective, it does make sense to trade higher. So just be careful with your bias on this one and trade towards your draw on liquidity. For the final update, we've obviously got Bitcoin now. On the daily time frame, we've had that break of structure in towards the downside. This is our swing high and this is our swing low. From a market structure and a liquidity standpoint, we'd want to see some higher prices towards that point of liquidity, where we can then look for that next short position down towards the week swing low. However, if we go down onto the 4-hour time frame, what we can see is after having this break of structure, we have already had another break of structure down lower again. So this is our 4-hour swing range, and after liquidating this high here, seeing a change in the order flow, we could then view this potentially as a supply zone, which you could then look for that next short down lower again. But it's again similar to gold, it's difficult because the higher time frame is telling you it could go up in price, but the lower time frame is definitely suggesting that along with this bearish momentum that lower prices are more likely.